Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about this really shocking new Bloomberg news poll that was released just this morning or last night or something that shows Kamala Harris with a near total sweep of the Battleground states, only losing Wisconsin. Not even losing, but only the only one where she doesn't win is in Arizona, where it's tied 48-48. But let's just take a look at these results. This is a Bloomberg news poll, as I said, conducted by Morning Consult, which of course is a pretty high-ranking pollster, if I remember. But anyway, let's go down the list. In Wisconsin, Harris ahead by an incredible 9%. 9% in Wisconsin, Harris is ahead by. In Pennsylvania, the one most critical battleground state in the 2024 election, 19 critical electoral votes, Kamala Harris ahead by 3%, 51-48. In Nevada, Kamala Harris ahead by 4%. In Georgia, Kamala Harris ahead. That's just critical. So important. 16 electoral votes in Georgia. She's ahead by 3, 50-47. In Michigan, she's only ahead by 2, 49-47. In Arizona, she's ahead 48-48. And then, that's the one where it's tied. And this polling Twitter post or whatever actually got it wrong in North Carolina. We have the official results up. They said it's tied in their post. But in fact, North Carolina is going to Kamala Harris in this poll by 2%, which is a major flip. So let's just place that on the electoral map. Nevada was +4. That's a lean margin. Arizona was tied, so that's a toss-up. Georgia was +2, that's lean. North Carolina was +2. Pennsylvania was +2, or +3 actually. Michigan was +2, and then Wisconsin was likely. So even without the state of Arizona, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are at 308 electoral votes. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance at 219. It's not even close. Now let's just, for a moment, take a look at how this race has swung since Joe Biden entered the race, and more importantly, how this race has swung since Kamala Harris entered the race. So we see, this first graph is among all swing states, so each of these 7 states, again, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada. This is, the total number among all these states. And when Joe Biden was in the race, Trump was ahead, right? Trump was ahead by a few points. That was really bad because in 2020, we'll get to all this, but Joe Biden led by so much in the Morning Consult polls in the swing states. But now, when Biden was in the race, he was losing. And then immediately, when Harris took the nomination, the very first poll that Bloomberg conducted, Kamala Harris took the lead. But you see, since then, she has been able to expand her lead. So whatever she has done when it comes to meeting the American voters, right? Actually, introducing herself, I should say, to the American voters. Whatever she has done when it comes to that matter, it has worked because she has now expanded her lead to +2 among all the swing states. In Arizona, she actually had a lead in the first poll, and then she went down, and now it's tied. This is just typical margin of error stuff. I mean, when margins are razor thin like this stuff happens. In Georgia, she has been able to expand her lead. And you can see, I mean, it is clear that she is gradually, that even, just the Democrats really, because this was Biden too, that Biden and Harris are mostly Harris now, they were just, gradually expanding. Now she's expanding her lead, but they were gradually moving up in the state. But she tied in Georgia last time. I think I made a video about this. Now she's ahead by 2%. In Michigan, it's gotten a lot closer. She was ahead by a lot in the last poll. I remember talking about this one. But since then, it has narrowed down to a 2-point lead. In Nevada, she was down in that first poll. Since then, she has taken the lead and expanded her lead. Nevada was looking like one of the states where she was not polling well. That has completely changed. In North Carolina, for the first time ever in the Morning Consult polls, she has taken the lead, 49-47. Again, look at that last poll. She was down. And then in Pennsylvania. Not Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. The big one here. The last poll, Kamala Harris was down big time. This was the one area of concern for the Harris campaign. When you look at these other states in the most recent polls, she was ahead in Nevada. She was only down in a little bit in North Carolina. She was ahead by a lot in Michigan. It was tied in Georgia. She had a lead in Arizona, and Wisconsin she was ahead in. But Pennsylvania was the one where it wasn't looking good for her. She was down by quite a lot, but now she's ahead by 3 or 4%. Now it's 51 to 47. She has, but again, this is typical margin of error stuff. When it's a race this close, a slight change in the polling results can make, a state flip in the averages. And then in Wisconsin, she has an insane 8-point lead in this poll, 44 to 52. A huge expansion on the most recent poll. So this is what it looks like when you put it on the electoral map. Again, not even very close of an election. Now, in 2020, of course, Morning Consult wasn't the very best when it came to polling. I mean, they have a good rating because everyone was off when it came to polling back in 2020. But just trying to find, this is in the state of North Carolina here. These are 2020 polls. I'm trying to see if I can find a Morning Consult poll just to show you an example. Here's one. So for example, in North Carolina, Joe Biden was ahead by 3. This was conducted between October 11th through the 20th. This was a Morning Consult poll. Again, Biden ahead by 3. Trump ended up winning by 1.3. That's not even that bad of an example, to be honest. Maybe I could find one in Wisconsin. But on average, of course, right, Joe Biden led in North Carolina by 1.8%. But, it just goes to show, right, that a pollster like Morning Consult that's very established, they can very easily they always underestimate the capabilities, the electoral capabilities of Donald Trump. Now, will they do it this time in the same capacity? I doubt it. I don't think it will be as extreme, but it just goes to show. But I mean, honestly, when you look at these numbers, and you look at where Biden was in 2020, if Harris continues to get numbers like this, then she will not be that far off where Biden was. Now, Biden was overestimated, but still, Harris has a lot of room to slack, just as like Joe Biden had a lot of room to slack in the polling, which he did, but he still won the election because he had that room to slack. So when you look at Wisconsin, Wisconsin, for example, she's ahead by 9 in Wisconsin in this new poll. Now, in 2020, Biden on average was overestimated by 8.4%. He only won the state by 0.6%. So he was way overestimated in Wisconsin. But again, Kamala Harris is ahead by 9% in Wisconsin. That's more than on average what Joe Biden was ahead by in Wisconsin in 2020. Meaning, even if Harris is overestimated as much as Joe Biden was in 2020, which I highly doubt will happen, even if she is, then she would still win in a state like Wisconsin if she starts to consistently get polling results like this. But I mean, or that was in 2020, but, it's starting to become more common, where we see Harris plus 9, plus 6, plus 5, plus 7% polls in the states. Now, is she winning Wisconsin by 9? No, but this just goes to show how polling can overestimate Democrats, underestimate Donald Trump, and it matters how much slack you have, and she's starting to get a lot in some of these battleground states. So, the point is, looking at where Biden was in these states, even Pennsylvania, I mean, it isn't too far off to where Harris is. In this poll, Joe Biden led by 4.7%. In this poll, she's ahead actually by 4 in the actual results, as you see here, which is just under where Biden was, right? In the 2020 polling, he ended up winning the state by 1.2%. So this polling that shows Kamala Harris ahead in almost every battleground state. A near clean sweep of the battleground states is possible for Kamala Harris. All she has to do is get a lead in Arizona. That one is tied, but I mean, just look at this. Donald Trump doesn't lead in a single battleground state in this Morning Consult poll. This Trump campaign has just gone downhill, just is so fast. Kamala Harris has been able to turn around this race for the Democrats. As you can see here, Joe Biden was on track to lose every single swing state. Kamala Harris, it looks like, could win all of them. I doubt North Carolina, and I do actually have Georgia still in Trump's column. But still, even that is a near sweep for Kamala Harris of the swing states. So she's already at 308, even before we have Arizona, because that one's a tie. So, just a shocking new poll from Morning Consult with Bloomberg. But this is what it would look like on the electoral map. So, thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the election, or as soon as possible. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.